years ago. And now we're speaking to the man behind GMAT, the man behind Cillian Group. Welcoming via Zoom, we have Ian Hayward with us, Jr. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning, all.
Thank you for being here with us. Now,
it's a pleasure.
Awesome. Now we're hearing about Trinidad and Tobago Gospel Festival.
Yes.
What is happening? Where did this come from? What's going on?
Well, it's not really a surprise to those of us planning, right? It was part of the forecast for the last couple of years. This will be the 6th annual edition of the Gospel Music Awards.
Right.
And we actually had a 5-year plan to transition and to continue to grow the movement. And even with the last 2 years of having COVID or the pandemic impact the nation, we were still able to execute the event. And so it's really a progression now that we have passed through phase 1, which is educating the people, highlighting our artists, helping them be more marketable, have them all over the Caribbean headlining.
Yes.
Now we want to bring a spotlight in terms of we are capable enough as an industry to invite the world.
Yeah. Let's backtrack a bit. Yes, let's backtrack a bit and talk about Cillian Group. How did this organization come about? Because you have been doing some amazing, impactful work over the years.
Nice. Actually, we are Cillian Group is an NGO.
Okay.
And we started in 2005. So we are approaching 20 years.
Wow.
It was mostly really youth work to alleviate youth stress. So our motto was really trying to be the change that we seek. So we started with football tournaments. There was nothing really outlet for us after secondary school. So we created that football tournament and invited so many different teams from all over the country to take part. And coming out of that, we got National Youth Awards for Sports Management. And then we started to do some concerts, some choir festivals, and it was amazing to see the impact. And for a while, we have gone on a lot of corporate events. We have been doing a number of events for Ministry of National Security, anti-crime, this, United Nations, that.
Right.
And as we got older, we started to do a number of even other national events. But with the changing times, with the mentality of the young people, we decided it's important that we stand in the gap in this particular space from a gospel perspective to highlight the goodness, to highlight decency, and to most importantly do it at an international level. Because there was a perception before that when it's something gospel, it should be done at a lower level because it's just church and that kind of stuff. So we have absolutely shattered that perception and presenting culture, presenting talent, presenting ministry at a national and international level, and that's one position. So by doing that, it raised an absolute light on the market. And as the minister would have said in a press release we did, or a press conference we did, they have actually created a diversified culture market for Trinidad and Tobago. So it's amazing to hear that.
Yeah, let's go back to that gospel perspective, because with the onset of this festival coming, it's a change, but it's in the right direction. It's growth. And, I wanted to find out in terms of the festival, you're creating opportunities for growth, you're creating opportunities for wealth, as well as, to showcase creatives and the talents within the gospel fraternity. Have you, received any hesitation or any sort of discomfort where the local church is concerned, as you move into this new dimension of things?
Not as much as we'd have probably braced for.
Okay.
To be honest. But that's part and parcel of it. Anything we do, especially in our multicultural, multi-diverse society from young, we knew that there will always be a market of people who have different views and different opinions. And our Trinbagonian culture is to be very strong and vocal with those views. So if we sign up as individuals, anything on a national platform, or anything period, we have to be able to be mature enough to withstand those challenges. What I tell people, though, especially from the gospel perspective, is really based on conviction. And And God convicts us individually, independently, and in His own time.
Yes.
So once you're operating within that realm, someone else may not have that specific conviction or understanding or light at that given time on that particular issue. So from a mature perspective, we try not to get too emotionally involved in what others may have to say, but really stay focused and stay in tune with what we believe we are called to do at this particular time.
Right. So talk to us about the Trinidad and Tobago Gospel Festival. What would it entail, the activities surrounding it?
Right. Well, it's our first one, so we of course going to be very measured, but we have so many plans.
Right.
So the first thing first, on the Thursday, the opening ceremony, we would like to have a business conference. We'll be having the business conference.
Okay.
That first thing, what we're doing there is teaching artists and musicians and people in the industry how to make your ministry a business as well, how to do the right things, and it's open to anybody, because that business conference is not genre specific. Music business conference is just a music business conference. So we're doing things like, how do you get your music properly copyright written? We have IPO coming to talk about trademarking our brands, on intellectual property. We have the music business. How do you now transform your platforms from CDs to streaming platforms?
Okay.
How do you market that? How do you be self-sufficient? How do you increase the quality of your production? By understanding that when you produce and you mix and you master your stuff properly, it gives you an international audience. And that kind of conversation we'll be having on the Thursday for anybody, for anybody. And all that information and that registration will come out on our page in about a week. And then we go into the big shows. We would have done a couple of these shows before. And as we mentioned, we do a number of shows all during the year.
Yes.
A number of people regionally would be like, wow, I would have loved to come to Trinidad for that. I would have loved to come there for that. But it may not have made economic sense to come to Trinidad for one night.
Right.
So what we have done is, by putting some of these shows together, it's absolutely transformed the regional interaction, because it makes viable sense now to come to Trinidad from Thursday to Monday.
Right, for that weekend, yes.
What you get in that weekend from that Christocentric perspective is absolutely sensible. So that area would have surprised us the most in terms of the response rate, the engagement. So right now we're talking to hotels to get special packages for those who want to come in. So that is really interesting, and it's really good that we could stand in that gap and kind of put a light to that. So we'll be on Friday night, we'll have our worship event, which will be led out by Kiara Shade Kelly.
Yes.
She's a Grammy Award-winning worship artist, and that is an event we always tend to bring a huge international for. Reason culturally, we don't have worship shows in Trinidad.
Okay.
People say you can get it in church for free. But you have worship ministers who are also artists, who also need to be engaged, who also need to survive, who also need to live as well. So by creating this space and inviting an international worshiper, we also get the opportunity to see some of our locals who would have had that talent and that specific genre also engaged, and not only what we are accustomed to, the soca artists, the dancehall artists, the reggae artists, etc.
Yes.
So that'll be that. And then on the Saturday now, we have a Caribbean night. One artist basically from 7 Caribbean islands, and then a team from Trinidad and Tobago. To really, and that one will be streamed internationally on pay-per-view, because that one is to really let the world know the Caribbean has something to offer. And it's a West Indian concept, basically. We can be good at one individual cricket team, but when we come together as a West Indies, the product is able to rival the Australia or the England and to rival the first world. So it was based on that same philosophical concept that we have this I rep Christ and I rep my island. So we're asking all you girls, all girls of your various islands, to come out, to stand up and rep your colors, and get your experience, and let the world know what the Caribbean has to offer.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds exciting. I am excited about it. And we're seeing here where this festival would create so many job opportunities, attract tourism, and so many different avenues. And one of the things that I love what you said is to showcase the creativity of the gospel industry. And it's more than just sound and dance. Talk to us about that, because there's talent beyond song and dance in the gospel industry.
And that is what the last show is about. The Gospel Music Awards of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
This one will be about featuring the gospel arts. And unbelievable, it's not going to be a singy concert where you come and 10 people come up and sing, 10 artists, 10 ministers come up and sing. It's not going to be that. It's going to be theatrical. It's going to have spoken word. It's going to have musical pieces. It's going to have dance. You may see swinging from the sky. So we're actually going to push the envelope. Because we are Trinbagonian people, right? And there is a natural energy that is in our veins in terms of our creative will and our creative power. And we believe that should be, especially for positivity, should be highlighted. Our talents are not just to be used or highlighted for things that may not be as positive as other things. It should be done for everything and without apology. We stand in that position or with that position to be able to bring that to the world, because especially when people come to Trinidad and Tobago, they still want to see things that are synonymous to what we call our Trinbagonian culture, regardless of what influence would have brought them to our shows. And that's what the awards is about. It really does magic in terms of the production. We award things like the music video of the year, and that speaks a number of things. It speaks to the not just the audio but the visual content and the creativity of so many top of the line videographers who now we see in CPL and we see doing big corporate advertisements now coming out of that kind of space. So it's unbelievable the impact that is having.
With this new level of purpose, and I mean new to us, but not new to the team that's behind the scenes planning and working on this, but this new level of purpose and vision, would come a new level of focus and determination. Talk to us about that without sharing too much. Talk to us about that for you and the team, that shift in focus and, how you are running ahead doing this.
Well, to be honest, trailblazing is very difficult because you go forward into empty space and you take all the first hits and you also make all the first mistakes. So it is a mentality and a psyche of a particular person to be a trailblazer, and that is why I am really appreciate the Cillian Group team, because they have been doing this. Most of the team have been doing it for the last 15 years. It's not a team that has broken up and the people have changed. And although that is part of group dynamics, we have a team that have bought into this, and that is critical, especially when you're doing purpose-driven stuff. Purpose-driven stuff are things that are on your spirit and in your philosophy for a long while until that is changed. So that has been the most important thing in terms of giving us the opportunity to push through that trailblazing space. But it's very difficult. And there are people who would have tried it because it looks nice when it comes off and then realize how difficult it is. And we just try to encourage people to don't just do things for doing things sake, but do things with purpose. And the purpose will be different for everybody. But we have found a group of people with like mind, same spiritual underpinning, that come together to do this and have a very strong national ethos as well. To have a pride in Trinidad and Tobago that we think young people should know and should feel and should experience. It will affect how you take care of the city. It will affect how you take care of your community. So that's what we do. That's what we stay. And what it has done, it has pulled persons with like mind who are in that space who have now seen us to come and volunteer, to come and be a part. What we have also done is highlighted a number of brilliant young people. Without apology, we are not afraid to engage young 25-year-olds with their masters or their PhDs and give them a space to do things that their spirit or their heart would have told them they could do, but no one would give them that opportunity to experiment on their brand, on their product. We tend to do a lot more of that. and allow a lot more creativity, and that's what keeping us fresh. I believe that's what keeps us being able to push the envelope, because it's not the same people all the time coming up with the creative ideas.
Yeah.
You have to be brave enough to encourage the younger people or just new people into the space, understanding that what we're trying to do is not about self, but about national good and international representation.
Love that, love that. Okay, so tell us the details. When is the festival taking place? Where can persons find more information, purchase tickets?
Right, so the festival will be the 27th of April, Thursday 27th of April to Sunday 30th of April. Tickets are at Showholics, all Showholics nationwide, Trinidad and Tobago, Excellent Stores, Eclipse all locations as well, all Excellent Stores as well. So that's down C3 right up to Tobago Port Mall, right down to West Mall, up to Rima, and everywhere in between. And then you have Ari Auto tickets and King's Lounge as well in Movie Town and Arima.
Okay.
And that is the thing with a real national spread. And yeah, we have tickets online as well at Tobertickets.com. Those tickets are going really fast. That's for the international audience, especially. And we have a special, while each general ticket is $250 and each VIP ticket is $500. 250 and 500. We have a special where you have the entire weekend pass, general for 500 and a VIP pass for 1,000.
Okay.
So it's unbelievable, but again, we have a different mission, a different purpose, so we're able to provide that kind of opportunity. And it's exciting. The interactions thus far is unbelievable. The support from you all as well is wonderful because as a national platform, it's really nice to see the balance in coverage and the balance in opportunity for all things local.
Yes.
And I want to commend you. I want to commend you all for that, for taking the brave step to have balanced journalism and national coverage.
Yes, I think it's important, and I think that it's a good opportunity. It is a purpose-driven opportunity, as you said, to have this gospel festival and to see persons, not just in the gospel fraternity, coming together, but persons of like mind and like interest. So we wish you all the best with this. We'll definitely check in with you closer to the date to find out how things are going and to get people excited to be there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you.
No problem. Most importantly, we're looking forward to seeing everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for staying with us. This